What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back the day after a drama. That's what it was, a complete drama, but it got worse post-game because I think post-game was the actual drama because I was expecting, and I really was expecting Motta to come out and be very realistic about it and own up to certain mistakes. However, I'm shocked. He was talking crazy. He was actually not throwing players under the bus, but basically telling, Locatelli, for example, we'll get to that in a second. Nah, Locatelli is not, he doesn't know what he's talking about, basically. He was diverting anything and kind of brushing it away, the result, like we have another shot next week to make it right. We don't. And the way he talked about it, because he was questioned by the journalists about decisions and all those things. And his conclusion was, I didn't make mistakes, basically. I will do them again because I'm convinced in my decisions. And I was like, wow, everybody saw you make mistakes. Everybody in the studios were listening to it. Di Canio, all these guys, Tony, and they were all like, wow, you cannot say certain things. You just cannot say certain things. Certain things I didn't like when Allegri said, I don't like when you said it. I'm not even Motta out. This is not a video about in or out. We will get to that, because I know a lot of people have strong opinions on that. And the moment I have my voice back, I will do a call-in show. However, what he did post-game, in my opinion, is crazy and I'm extremely disappointed. But before we get into it, as always, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and let's talk about what he had to say. Okay. Post-game, the context is Locatelli came out first and he said, we threw it away. And I agree in terms of, if you look at the big picture, the entire 120 minutes, no, we didn't throw away. We got absolutely dominated. But the moment it was 1-1, we threw it away. And that's what everybody's talking about. Those key moments where Motta made mistakes, nothing changed as a team. I don't view this team different when we beat Inter and when we lost to PSV. I know a lot of fans are reactionary. I'm not. That's why I'm not one of those persons coming on. I'm sorry, Gatti, because you played well against Inter. I'm sorry, that player, because you did well one game. No. I have an opinion on certain things, and they won't change game to game. The same goes for Motta. The same goes for the team, the squad. How we play, so on, so on. That being said, he comes out and he said, nah, I don't think Locatelli is right. We didn't throw it away. We tried. He said the subs were forced. He said, I would not change anything. I would not make any other decisions. And I was like, man, you're talking crazy. You're absolutely talking crazy. And to top it off, and that I found shocking, he said, Koopmeiners had the fever. Again, by the way, I don't know how many times he is sick. So he said he was not 100%, so I couldn't really play him all game, so I needed to pull him. It's a forced sub. I'm like, you didn't need to start Koopmeiners. He's not been playing well. Thuram has been playing well, and for some reason, you're benching Thuram. Every time Thuram plays, he makes a difference. It's noticeable with the eye. Every fan sees what Thuram brings on the pitch. Nobody sees the impact of Koopmeiners. So nobody wants to hear Koopmeiners has a fever or feel sorry for you that you needed to make that sub, that it was forced. You forced yourself to make that sub because you start Koopmeiners, not us. When you needed to start Thuram, everybody knew that. And even if you didn't start Thuram, before we scored that 1-1 in Bangola and Thuram were coming on, if that free kick didn't have came, or if we didn't score, both players would have come on. The moment we score, you bring them on. You bring them on. They were needed. Look at the difference in Bangola and Thuram made. The moment they came on that pitch, they made a difference. How can you say post-game that you didn't make a mistake? that the decisions you made were right when everybody saw what needed to happen and everybody saw the impact both Mbangula and Thuram had on the game. How can you come on the camera and say these things? Even the people in the studio were like, no. They were like, they couldn't believe it. They were like, that's not correct. Everybody can see it. You made mistakes. Own up to it. I called out Allegri for it last season, and I'm going to call out, Thiago Motta for it. Because you cannot do that. Everybody, like, don't take us for fools. We're not idiots. We're not coaches. We don't know every ins and out of the game, and that's fine. But we have eyes. We're not blind. We can see Locatelli and Thuram co-managers were struggling. We can see the difference Thuram makes on his own in the midfield. He can carry, he can disrupt the midfield on his own. We know how good Mbangula is playing lately. Not last week against PSV, but he scored. And you saw the impact he has. You saw how poor Gonzalez was, how poor Conceição was once again. You saw these things. How can you claim that you didn't make mistakes? How can you come out in front of the camera and fool the fans? I cannot co-sign for that. I can't. Even if I like you and I want you to succeed, and I'm not saying you get out of my club, because I have expectations, but I also have realization of what we are right now. So I can place certain things. This I cannot place. And you coming out and owning up for it won't make me feel better, by the way. It won't make me feel, oh, okay, the result is okay. No. But yet you're not doing it makes it worse. When even your own players come out saying they wanted it more. Weah came out and said they wanted it more. Locatelli said the same thing. You come out and you say that's not true. How? When your own players see that. We saw that. How can you say no? For me, that's just crazy talk. It really is crazy. I couldn't believe it. I really couldn't believe it. I really couldn't believe it. He actually lost it. And he actually struggled to admit it, that he lost it. And it's fine. It's not fine, but it's fine to say that. Everybody saw it. The entire world saw it. I was watching on the Belgian network again. Even he said it. He said, why were those subs not made? Why? They were needed. 1-1 or 1-0 still. They were needed. But yeah, those were the things he had to say. And then, he said, we move on. Yeah, we move on. We have, like, what else are we going to do? We need to move on. You need to be Cagliari because you need to get into the top 4. You have no choice. Tough game. Cagliari. Cannot remember an easy game in Cagliari for the last, 5-8 years. I really can. It's going to be tough. And these players are down, playing 120 minutes as well with an awful back line. How are you going to fix that? But yeah, let me know. I thought he was talking crazy. I thought it was unacceptable. But let me know in the comments what you think. Like the video. And I will speak to you guys live today for a live show. I have a few people on, so stay tuned. A lot of things to discuss.